Right, YouTube, Big Mike without further ado, retro. Sorry it's been so long. I've not been too well over the sort of Christmas and New Year period, but I'm back now. So without further ado, let's get on with it. Cheers. Right, so one of the reasons we haven't been doing a lot of pickups, basically, we haven't been about, is because one's because I've been sort of very ill Christmas and New Year. Not very ill, but you know, unwell. Christmas and New Year. I'm actually not 100% at the moment, so I've got to go to the doctor's, have a few things checked out tomorrow. Should be alright, just getting a bit of a deeper understanding what's sort of going wrong with me, because I haven't been right for a few months. So, you know, if you can't seem to get yourself well, it's always good to get yourself checked out and then see exactly what's going on. So, yeah, so we haven't been sort of really picking up much, really, you know, with sort of Christmas and New Year. Things have been a bit tighter. So I haven't been doing many pickups, trying not to spend so much money. Obviously, we've got Arcade Club coming up this weekend, Friday, so I'm really looking forward to that. Obviously, that's going to cost me a bit, going to that hotels, drive-in, petrol and things like that, you know. So, yeah, my mate Mark is going to be taking me up there, so, you know, obviously, all of that costs money, like, you know, so. But we have been picking up a few bits. I've been trying really not to do too much on eBay, because, you know, trying to find a few bargains, although I do find bargains on eBay, but I'm trying to find a few bargains sort of in and around the sort of local village where I've not been feeling 100%. I've been trying to sort of get myself up and out and get a bit of fresh air. So I've been doing a bit of the charity shops and things. So I haven't got all of the pickups here, because I actually sold some of them to sort of recuperate the money that I spent on getting them. So the main sort of things I've been picking up in the charity shops, actually, I've been buying DVDs, which I shouldn't be doing. I've got so many blooming DVDs, but if something I haven't seen and something I'd like to watch, I'd actually pick them up. I actually sold a couple and done alright as well. I actually done a pretty good one. I don't know if I mentioned this on the channel. I don't think I have. Actually picked up Zelda Skyward Sword on the Wii, actually from Oxfam. Now, Oxfam, if anyone knows that their charity shops, they know that Oxfam's prices are absolutely ridiculous. They've got like Guitar Hero, like on a 360 or whatever, without the guitar, for like £6.99, £7.99 or something stupid. It's probably like worth £1 or £2. So usually you can't get a deal in Oxfam, because it's actually dearer to buy an Oxfam than it is to. You could probably buy it 2 or 3 times off of eBay and have it delivered to your door. But I asked in the shop, I sort of said, you know, have you got anything out the back? And the woman's like, oh, I've got some like Wii games, and I had a look, and as soon as I spotted Zelda, I was like, oh, how much is that one, you know? And she said, oh, I don't know. Looked at the year 2011. She said, oh, £2. I said, yeah, brilliant, I'll have that. I don't think I've got that one. So I paid £2 for that, and I think I sold that on eBay for £13.99. So once you sent off, you turn roughly £2 into a tenner. So that was okay. That was a pretty good one. I also bought a 360 off a friend of mine. He said that, you know, it's their family Wii U for the family. They didn't really use it anymore. He's got a PS4 Pro. So, you know, he said his mum was going to take it to a charity shop. Did I want it? I said, yeah. I said, I'll give you a tenner for it. And, well, he actually said, oh, give us a tenner for it and you can have it. So I said, yeah, no problem. Got a couple of games, a couple of controllers. He did actually say one of the controllers, the batteries exploded. I said, oh, I'll be alright. I'll be able to clean it. So, got it. Took the battery out of the one that's exploded. It all works fine, but it's a bit sort of rusted. It's quite hard to clean. I got some of that IPA, but I think you'd have to leave it in that rather than trying to do it with you know, earbuds or Q-tips if you're American. Yeah, so it's a bit of a nightmare that. But I thought with that one I could possibly keep that one for myself. Nick the official Nintendo backs. I actually bought a couple more backs, because bought that one off my friend for £10. That came with Mario Kart, so I've sold that for 14. I think it's £13.99 or £14.99 on eBay. Sold another game. Was it a Sonic game or something? One of the Sonic games was about £7 or £8. So I think if I'd have traded that bundle into CEX. Initially, when I bought it off him, I think it's worth £54 trade-in. Now I think it's worth about 46. It's sort of working out how the best way to sell these are, because obviously I think you get better money selling the games. I've got loads of games that aren't worth anything, so I've actually bought 3 of these Wiis over the last week or so. But I've done alright on some of the games as well. So I think the best way to sell them, personally, is to sell the controllers, possibly sell the other pieces, like like the sensor bar and things like that. Maybe cause they go for a £5. The controllers you get like anywhere from between £10 and about £14, I think. And then maybe mod the consoles themselves. Do a soft mod with the USB port. I don't know how to do it, but I've heard it's quite easy. So maybe sell them modded, because they just sort of fetch, 25-30 quid modded. I think I'm not sure about without the controllers and things though. So, but if you trade a Wii into CEX now, they give you £10 trading for it, but they give you £13 or £14 for a controller. So you're better off just keeping the machine and selling the controller for more money, aren't you? So yeah, so I've bought 3 of these. So I got one off, like I say, off a friend, which is the best deal. I've probably get like 30-40 quid out of that. Yeah, probably 40, maybe a bit more out of that once I've messed about and things. Then I picked another one up in a charity shop, which was boxed, but unfortunately it's missing the inserts. They had it up for 20. I said, would they take 15? And they said, yeah, they would, because I knew the guy. He's a pretty good guy, Roger, the MS Foundation, if anyone watches it, in my local village. But yeah, so he said he would take 15. And when we opened the box, the inserts weren't there. But there was a couple of good games in there as well. So I sold a couple of the games, and then I've got the machine and a few other games as well. So, like I say, I need to list a lot of them. A lot of them aren't worth anything. I mean, I've tried to sort of list the ones that are worth anything, and I've got a load here that aren't worth nothing. So I don't know whether to bundle these with a system and get rid of them, because they're all going for like 10p, a penny, and 50p and stuff. And I begrudge letting them go, and even trading for that. So if you knock them up with one of the systems, and then you can sell them, as a bundle, and it might get rid of it. It looks a bit better with a load of games, doesn't it? So, games, I'll just show you, just because there's nothing of any quality here, really. There might be good games, but they didn't go for anything. So, Summer Sports, is that a Summer Sports Party? There's that one. Call of Duty 3, thought that might go for something, didn't go for anything, really. We Play. Like I say, all of these aren't, might be £2 worth of games here in total. If anyone knows any different, please let me know. TV show King Party, or TV King Show Party or something. Shaun White snowboarding. Like I say, the prices these go for, but if anyone's just going to have them to play, they might be okay. So there's Tiger Woods there. Like I say, anything was worth anything, I sold straight away, straight on eBay to recoup the money back. So we got Nutrition Matters, and this is brand new sealed, totally unopened. I think it's trades for about 10p. Wii Fit Plus, without the board. So My Fitness Coach. Perhaps this bundle's trying to tell me something. So it's My Fitness Coach. It's Pez. Oh, bloody hell, right through that one. And another multi sort of title game party. I don't think any of these sort of raise anything, so I will go through them before sort of coming to a final judgment on them, but I'll probably bundle them together and sell them with one of the systems. So that was those ones. Right, another one I managed to get in the charity shops was a 3DS game. I believe it was a Snoopy game, or Snoopy Peanuts Adventure or something like that. Which is actually quite a cool game, actually. I put it on the 3DS to have a little look at it and give it a little go. It's quite a cool game, really. I should have thought about keeping it. I mean, I asked out, I said, is there anything out about it? The lady said, oh, we'll have a look. And they had a load of sort of children's DS games. And I was like, I didn't know it was like Peppa Pig and things like that. And my knowledge of DS games isn't very good. And you know, I know a lot of these games aren't worth a lot, so I don't like to whip out the phone and start checking in front of ladies and all that, and whoever's working in your charity shop's a bit rude, isn't it? But when I spotted a 3DS and Snoopy, I thought, well, Snoopy, you know, he's got his own following on it as well, and it's a 3DS. I said, how much do you want for that? And she said, oh, give us £1. So that was cool. So I took that for £1. But I think I stuck that on eBay for a tenner. Probably cost a couple of quid to post it. So, you know, turned £1 into about £7 or £8. Say £7 after fees and what have you. So that was another good one. Actually got a full. Well, actually, done really well for that actually, because I bought a bundle of stuff. So I bought that game. Went to buy a DVD, which is Mortal Kombat DVD. It's not around here actually, so that's game related actually, isn't it? Mortal Kombat double pack of cartoon. Showing nothing here, mate. I got a knacker doing that, haven't I? Yeah, Mortal Kombat, a double pack, so 2 cartoons, and also all the DVDs are buy one get one free. So I chose another DVD, but I chose a pack of Hergé's Adventures of Tintin, remastered, brand new and everything. So I thought there's got to be some money in that. It's brand new, and bought something else. I think it was a World War II brand new sealed documentary, which I thought would be interesting to watch. And you know, and I actually found out that actually trades into CX for £2. I think it would cost me £2. But the whole bundle, because of the discounts and everything, cost me £3.57. So so £3.57, and then I come back and one of my friends, they sort of working sort of looking after kids with disabilities and things like that, and he said, "Oh, one of the kids I work with would really love that Tintin. He'd really appreciate it." He said, "Likes watching the same thing over and over, and it'd be nice to get him to watch something else because he'd seen the same film about 8 times, and I think if he's seen it at ninth, he might have cracked himself." So he said, "Would you mind? Can I buy the Hergé's Adventures Tintin off him? You know, it's pretty good." And you know, I remember watching it as a kid, and you know, he'd like to watch that. And I said, "Yeah, it's fine." He said, "How much do you want for it?" I said, "Well, yeah, I don't know." I said, "It might go for dear on eBay." I said, "I ain't got a clue. I haven't even looked it up." I said, "Just give us a £5 for it." He said, "Yeah, not a problem." So I let him have that. He said, "I'll give it to you next time I pop up. I'll get money off his mum." I said, "Yeah, not a problem. As long as it goes to a good home and someone enjoys it and looks, you know, and has a nice time and it makes someone enjoy it, then that's all cool." So just by selling the Tintin, I'd already paid for everything. So then obviously selling the Snoopy as well was an extra bonus. So we were in the black then, so that was pretty cool. So and I still got the DVDs to watch. Like I say, the Mortal Kombat one is brand new sealed. It's worth about £3 or £4 on eBay, but I should watch that and probably keep it. And the World War II documentary one was worth about what I paid for it. I think it's worth £2 trading to CX. It might be £2.50 or something. But it's brand new sealed, so I should watch it. And my cousin likes all the history of the wars and things like that, so I might lend it to him to watch it. And if it's still worth anything, I'll probably trade it into eBay after watching that. So that was so that was the pickups at the charity shop. So it's been sort of a lot more apart from that, really. There's, like I say, a few DVDs and stuff. There's more sort of film related. Right, so there's a couple of other pieces that I've sort of managed to pick up. These are actually eBay purchases. Like I say, it's not anything majorly exciting, but a couple of silly things. I've mainly put silly bids on and end up winning. So I bought this, which is an action replay for the Mega Drive. And the reason I bought this, why did I buy this? Got a feeling some cartridges don't fit in a Japanese Mega Drive. Could be wrong on this. So I thought I'd just buy it as an extension. So all of the carts will fit in. Because you can just use it like that as well, can't you? It's also supposed to be able to play other games. But you know, I've got in the Mega Drives, I've got old Frank, which is a Frankenstein, the Frankenstein one with all the switches. I've got the Asian PAL, which I should be getting rid of because didn't realise that doesn't play in 60 hertz. It's Asian PAL, so it plays the same speed, I think, as the British ones. So I've obviously got British ones as well, which I'll probably sell on eBay, just standard ones. And I've also got a Japanese Mega Drive as well. So I'll probably have the Japanese and maybe Frank set up, you know, just in case there's some games that don't work. I know no one like me, Pal Asia, the James Pond wouldn't ever work. So, but if I plugged a British Mega Drive in, it does. Which I think there's a few games. I know I had Streets of Rage 3 or Bare Knuckle. Was it Bare Knuckle 3 in America? I think it's Streets of Rage 3 in America, and or is it Bare Knuckle 3? I'm not sure. But the American version of that didn't work on the PAL Asia console either. But there's a few games that don't work on the PAL Asias. I don't know if they work on the Japanese ones. So, but yeah, so I've got the Mega Drive. So I'll like I say, if any games don't fit, I could just plug that in, plug the game in top, and you know, I actually picked that for I think it's like £1 plus £2 or £3 postage. So it's about £4 in total. It's about £3.70 something, I think. So I thought for that price, it's worth having, isn't it? You know, it's worth getting. I don't know what price I paid for this. I believe this would have been between £6 and £8. This game I've been after, and I don't usually pick up games without the case, but hopefully I'll be able to get the case for this one at some point. And it is Rock and Roll Racing on the Mega Drive. You know, just cart only, unfortunately. But I'll pick up the box for this. If not, I'll just sell it back on for more than I paid for it, hopefully. But I want Rock and Roll Racing on the Mega Drive, and I also want it on the Super Nintendo. I'm not sure if they're two different games, or if they're the same game, but on different systems. I'd imagine the SNES version's better. But I've heard both versions are quite good, so it's a game I want to look at and give a bit of time to and play. I've got some other games I've bought. I showed you last time that I had some more +3 disc games that I picked up. I also managed to find Robocop 2 a lot cheaper than I paid for it. I paid like £49 for my ones. I think £49. Managed to find another one with a box which isn't in as good condition as mine. It was like $15.99 or something. So I've bought it up. I'm going to clean the discs and everything, and bang it back on eBay for, you know, £30 or something, and hopefully that should go, because it's only 2 times I've seen it, and I've bought both copies. There's also some, also got a couple of Chase HQs to get rid of, so I'll clean and test those and stick them on. So I've got a lot of cleaning and testing to do. I actually sold I sold a game on the Amiga, but I've also bought a couple of games here. Well, a couple of packs actually. I haven't tried them out yet. Because I'm behind with everything and I'm a bit lazy. I should get on with things more. But yeah, so I've picked these up, and the prices I paid for these are absolutely ridiculous. So let's actually flip this round. And one of the discs is not working in this very well. So it is Game Set and Match on the Spectrum. It's Spectrum +3 discs, and it contains all of those games. So it's 10 hit games, over 20 exciting events. It has the original 1795 on the front. We've got World Baseball Series, Konami's Tennis, Jonah Barrington's Squash, Pool, Konami Ping Pong, Hyper Sports, which is the sequel to Track and Field, if I'm not mistaken. Super Soccer. One I'd be interested to play is Barry McGuigan's World Championship Boxing. Basketball, and Daley Thompson's Super Tests, which Daley Thompson's was always pretty cool. Unfortunately, like I say, everything's in it, which is pretty cool. I don't know if the manuals are in here actually. I haven't looked, but they both come sat in like pretty poorly designed little inserts. So like that, but if you remove the discs, it's a little tray that it sits in. I don't know. There's no instructions. But it was crazy the price I picked this up for. But one of the discs, they all look all good. On the back here, I don't know if you see, the actual silver bit which flips back and forward if you, like on here, it's supposed to do that on both sides. Now, they're on a sort of silly little hinge thing. It's really, really flimsy. If you were more skilled, I'm a Neanderthal, me, you might be able to open the disc and hook that back onto what it needs to be hooked onto, but I'm not that skilled. So what I will probably do, I've got a feeling I've got a set of these discs spare from when I picked up disc-only bundles and bundles with discs in. So I'm hoping I've got another one of those spare. And what I'll do is I'll put it all together, and I'll clean the discs, give it a go. If I might be able to get that silver bit out, but I don't really want to mess about with it too much. The discs are really rigid and they sort of break. So, but I managed to pick this up. Really badly listed this was. I got a feeling I paid less than £5 for it delivered. So absolutely fantastic to get that for £5 box and everything. Might be able to get 20 quid out of that. Maybe if I've got a spare disc and I can get it working, and I can sell it complete, or with both discs at least, not missing the instructions. But I've never seen one of these in the box. There's plenty come up discs. I say plenty. I've probably seen 4 or 5 sets of discs come up, and yeah. So if I can get that up and going, I might get 20 quid out of that. So I spent a £5. Might be able to turn that into 20 quid. This one here is from the same seller, really poorly listed, again, and hopefully I will be able to get this sold. Got to clean it and test it. It's a pretty good pack as well, actually. It's Magnificent 7, again on the Spectrum Plus 3 disc. And this has some fantastic games. So you've got on there, you've got Whizball, you've got Short Circuit, you've got Arkanoid. I have a little blast on Arkanoid in there, actually. Head Over Heels, which is a great game. I love Head Over Heels. Got The Great Escape. You've got Cobra, which is another really good game, based on Stallone Cobra, the film. Really, really cool game. Real tremendous what the guy managed to get out of the Spectrum using that. Frankie Goes to Hollywood. And then you've got Ye Are Kung Fu. All on one pack. I've actually got a spare box for this and another set of instructions. So what I might do is put the other instruction and keep the best one for myself. So I've actually got this. I've got this one here. I've got another one, and I have another box because I picked up a box for about £5, and then the bloke said, "Oh, I've found a disc. Do you want me to put a disc with it?" I thought, no, if you re-advertise it with disc, it will go for dear. This is another time. So I said, no, I'll just buy the box. So I got it for next to nothing, and I'm trying to get another disc so I can sell another one of these. So yeah, so this actually goes. I mean, there's one the guy who, if anyone knows. There's a guy on eBay who's the Guinness Book of Records Spectrum collector. I know Paul Mr. Bads has bought a few games off of him. I think the guy's prices are sky high and ridiculous. Everything he's got is like really, really stupidly priced. He's got one of these on eBay. It's the only other one that's on eBay. And he's got this up for 90 quid. So I picked this one up for a tenner. Because it was really poorly listed. You couldn't find it under Plus 3 games. I really sort of looked around and searched about a bit, and I managed to find it. I managed to win this for a tenner, and I might stick one of the manuals with it. I think I got 2 manuals. Stick one of the manuals with it, and I should probably aim for about 30 quid. You might be able to get 40 out of it, but I don't think you'll sell it that quick if you're hanging on for 40. So 30 quid, it should be in and out. So you've turned £10 into 30 quid. It's a good pack as well. I should keep the cleanest one, and sell whatever extras we have left. So that's pretty cool. I'm sure there are some other bits I've probably got intermingled and everything, and unfortunately I forgot to show them to you and everything. But the last piece I've got is something I've needed to complete a collection of 2 games that I've got. I've actually got the second game. If you know my videos, Steve actually donated me, Cine Steve, shout out to Cine Steve. He gave me the big box for number 2 of this game. So I had the small box with the discs. Now I believe I've already got the original full price disc for this. I also have the budget release of this, so I've definitely got discs. So I've just got to find them. My discs are blooming everywhere. So I did have them in piles of what needed cleaning, because I don't want to put any dirty discs in Amiga and get the heads dirty. So I like to clean everything before using it in Amiga, so you're not getting in any risk. But I actually had this on the Spectrum the other week, and it was good for the Spectrum. Playing it on a new modern screen, obviously it's not meant to be played like that. So through the RGB, and when you were moving, it had like a crisscross effect, and it moved really sort of weird on a big new screen. It sort of almost gave you motion sickness. It didn't look good at all. But imagine if you played it on old CRT, it would look fine and it would play good. But for me, it was Supercars basically on the Spectrum Plus 3. So I basically sold that because I thought there's no point in me keeping games. It's all right to have nice games which are rare in my collection, but if they're rare and I'm not going to play them and they're worth money, and it was actually quite good because I sold it to one of my best customers, who is Mutant Caterpillar Games. The lady there, I believe it's the guy's wife. Sorry, the name eludes me at the moment, but she's a brilliant lady, and she buys most of her games. She's into preserving Spectrum games, plus 3 games. So what she do, anything rare, she buys up, and then they upload them to a website. So they check that the file is original, so it's not been hacked, it's not been copied or anything. It's got to be original as it was, and then they upload it to a website, and then the files are preserved forever. So yeah, so she's bought a lot of my stuff off me. She's a very good customer. If you need sort of any work on Spectrums or 8-bit computers and Amigas and things like that, Mutant Caterpillar Games down in Wales, very reliable and cool. A lot of my friends use them. My mate Rob swears highly by them. He's had a lot of his recapping work and mods done onto his Spectrums, and swears by them. Very nice people. Some of my best customers on eBay for buying my rare plus 3 stuff, and always never a problem with transaction, always paid straight away, and absolutely fantastic. So, but yeah, so I sold my going right around the bushes with this one, didn't I? So right, I sold the Spectrum version of this game because it wasn't very good. So Supercars, obviously, I've told you that. So like I said, I got the discs, and I found Supercars Amiga box only. Now I've got this in a protective case already, but it is in immaculate condition. I'd say immaculate. It's a good 8 or 9, I would say. Lovely. Now Kitty had this up for 25 plus 350 delivery or something. So I went on there. And he had all offer, like, you know. So I went on there and I offered him. I said, "Oh, would you take 15? It's only a box. I've got a source instructions and manual." And he come back and said, "Oh, would £20 plus delivery, so it's 23.50." And I said, "Look, it's only a box. I've already got the discs. 20 quid's the most I'll do delivered." And he was like, "Yeah, fair enough, mate, not a problem. I'll accepted the sell and sent it to me." And then he sent me a message as well and said, "Oh, I wanted to make sure it got to you all in nice condition. I've sent it in a shoebox." So you got this small box here, coming in a massive shoebox, and with paper and padding and bubble wrap and all sorts. But probably cost him a £5 to send it, But absolutely brilliant. So great kitty, really nice guy. It's always nice to sort of, when people sort of look after everything, to show it to you, and all of that. And so yeah, it's mad because this is the same box as on the Spectrum, exactly the same. But the only difference is it says Amiga on here. On the Spectrum one, I think they're all printed on. I mean, I know this is printed on. I'm pretty sure the Spectrum was printed on as well. Because with a lot of boxes, they're just Amiga boxes with labels. But I also thought with the Spectrum box as well, I really didn't want to sort of take that label off if I was going to keep it for an Amiga box, because you do see this come up for the Amiga, as that's the only one I've ever seen for the Spectrum come up. So, probably sold my Spectrum one for what I paid for this. But now I've got a complete version on the Amiga. And for me, it plays okay on the Spectrum, and for Spectrum, it's a very good version of what it could do. But for me, Supercars, growing up for me, Supercars was on the Amiga. Supercars and Supercars 2. My Spectrum days were behind me by then. So it was interesting to see anyway. So that's that one. So really chuffed to get that and complete the set. I do have to get a set of full price discs for number 2, as I only have the budget ones. But they'll come along at some point. Alright, so final, it's the last bit, so that's the most of the pickups out of the way. There might have been a few bits in the last month or so that I've sort of forgotten to show, and things with being ill and not being so well, and you know, over the Christmas and New Year. So unfortunately, I'm sorry about it if I have missed anything. If I find anything I've missed, I'll try and show you what I've got or what we've sold and what we've done. So yeah, this weekend we got Arcade Club coming up. Really looking forward to that. It could be the one of the biggest, if not the biggest, UK YouTuber meetup that we've had at the UK lads. Anyway, so there's a few people that can't unfortunately make it. You know, some people got prior engagements, other arrangements and things. But those of us that are going to be there, there's no doubt we're all going to have a good time. Yeah, really looking forward to going. I've got a few bits for my mate Mark Burnout Culture. He's having a few pieces off me. Also got a few gifts for him as well. I've probably take a load of trades and games to trade or sell with me as well. I think a few of the other lads are doing the same. So it'd be might get some good deals up there. And as always, it's great to sort of meet the rest of the lads and just have a wicked time, you know, drinking and having a laugh, and finally getting to go to Arcade Club and getting in on some decent old arcades. So it's supposed to be really good there. I have heard it's a little bit hot. It's the only thing I'm sort of a little bit worried about. So I think I'm going to take something like a nice T-shirt or something, and maybe have my jacket in a bag or something. Or you're not allowed bags in there, are they? But I could keep it in the car, so it's not a problem. So yeah, so it'd be great to catch up with everyone. I'm going up for the Friday, Saturday, and then coming back on the Sunday. So I shall. I'm really looking forward to it. And then it's after that. So we're gonna have this weekend. It's gonna be you know, Arcade Club, and I don't think I'll be going to anything then until Revival, because obviously it was really tight even going to the Arcade Club this time. Should have been a bit more. You know, a bit more savvy, a bit more putting things on eBay and stuff. But where I've not been well, I've just not had the energy. I've just been knackered and not well at all. So you know, but luckily I've managed to make arrangements. So I've got funds to go to Arcade Club, and then it should be tightening the old belt, and then basically putting stuff on eBay, listing and selling. Not so much of the buying. I'm hoping to maybe fund the collection now with stuff I already have in my collection. It's about getting straight now. You know, getting back my finances back better. Get rid of a lot of the stuff I don't need, a lot of the clutter, descaling a lot, concentrating more on quality than quantity. You know, I don't need one game, you know, over 4 or 5 systems. All I need it on is either the system that I grew up playing it on, or the best version of that game. So, you know, a lot of games would be in the original Xbox. A lot of games would be best on, you know, like, you know, for me, different with this game. I was about to say, actually, Resident Evil 4 for me, I grew up playing it on the GameCube, but I actually have that on 5 or 6 systems, I think. And that is because it's one of my favourite games of all time. So I've tried to get nearly every variant of that game. So, you know, there's probably a lot more variants that I haven't got yet. But, you know, so there'll be you'll be seeing maybe the channel evolving a little bit, you know. So there won't be so many pickups videos. There will be pickups, because obviously, like I say, I might do a few videos on, you know, cleaning stuff up, listing it on eBay, and how well we do with it, or how we go about it and everything. A little bit, a few changes, and then showing what we turn that money into, what we trade. Because undoubtedly, you know, you all know me. You know, I talk a good talk, don't I? But I'm going to be buying stuff along the track somewhere, like, you know what I mean? If I can turn this into money, if I got money, there's going to be games coming back this way at some point. So, yeah, so, alright people, like, comment, share and subscribe. If you come into Arcade Club on over the weekend, if you see me and don't know me, come up and say hello. You know, I'm what you see on the video is what you get. I'm a pretty decent sound guy. You know, always willing to share it, you know, have a pint with someone and a good old natter about games. And yeah, so like I say, even if you're not a tuber, if you see us all there, don't feel shy to come up to us. None of us are anything special. We're just normal blokes. normal middle-aged men always having like the midlife crisis, escaping for the weekend to have a few beers in it. So, like I say, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Come to Arcade Club. Come and say hello. I will see you in the next one. Take it easy, YouTube. Cheers.